Good morning. Introduce myself. My name is Nur Afidah Al Muzakiyah with name 29-2020-23. Class FS20A. Here I will read the text of the COVID news. Why are so many people catching it again? In the early days of a pandemic, it was extremely rare to hear of people catching of COVID twice. That's not the case may more, especially since the Omicron variant emerged in later November 2021. Why are more people catching COVID again? Part of it is Omicron itself, a variant that's better at sneaking past defense with on all infection. Part of it is a number game. So many of us have already been infected at some point that a rising proportion of new infection are a second birth. But getting COVID twice in a short space of time is still pretty unlikely. Even with the latest version of Omicron, which a winter spread in a UK, and for most people a second infection is less likely to make them very ill. One, COVID symptoms is a runny nose, a cold or COVID. Two, how to look after yourself if you get COVID. How likely are you to take COVID twice? Eventually, pretty likely immunity, virus and coronavirus develop. Most people can expect to catch the other coronavirus, such as those which cause common cold symptoms many times in their life. But early the pandemic, that didn't seem to be the case with COVID. Very well then, 1% of all cases recorded in the UK before November 2021 were labeled as reinfection. But then Omicron took over. This looked very different to the version of coronavirus that we saw before. Its difference gives it a better chance of sneaking past the body's early defense, which will base of exposure to previous COVID infection, and so the rates of reinfection have been about 10 times higher this year compared with rates seen earlier in the pandemic. One, how many people have been infected more than once with COVID? Two, how many cases are there in your area? How is the new version of Omicron different? This new spring Omicron, known as BA2, has driven UK infection back up to record levels. The Office for National Statistics said that about 1 in 12 people across the UK had COVID in the week ending 2 April. The data is increased every month for 1 million to 5 million. It's similar to but even more infection than the version that came before. Prince times Omicron BA1 If you've had COVID in the past few months, it's likely to have been a version of Omicron, which in turn should give you good protection against a second part of it. The data we have so far suggests that a second Omicron infection is rare but can occur. More reinfections have been seen among younger people and those who haven't been vaccinated. Laboratory studies suggest that a combination of the Omicron infection and vaccination could leave your body even better prepared to fight off a new infection than one infection alone. About 4.5 million people have had a COVID booster dose since the start of the year, with another 2 million getting their second dose. And tens of millions of us have protection from a reaction infection. About 1 in 3 of us showed COVID during the first Omicron wave. But even if there is only a small chance of any one person catching Omicron a second time, you are quite likely to hear about it happening. It's a small chance multiplied by the tens of millions of people who have recently had COVID. Will it make me sicker? So far, it looks a case of BA2 is no more likely to put you in hospital than a case of BA1 was. And even if you test positive again, that is not the same as being sick with COVID-19. According to immunologist Prof. Eleanor Riley, it means that it fills your nose and throat. The protection provided by vaccination having had previous infection is more useful at preventing the virus from getting into your body, doing virus serious damage than it is at keeping the virus. If your nose and throat Prof. Riley, they thinks if you test positive again but feel well, your main concern be whether you might pass it on to someone who is particularly vulnerable. An infection can still land some people in hospital, particularly those with weak and immune system or underlying health condition. And infection can still land and some people in hospital, particularly those with weak and immune system or underlying health condition. But despite record numbers of COVID infection, the current wave is putting fewer people in hospital than we saw in January, so the red area in the chart above partially because so many of us now have a combination of protection from vaccination and previous infection. During January, speak about 50% of people in COVID beds in English hospital were being treated mainly for their COVID. The most recent pictures for 5 April say that figure is down below 45%. And the total numbers of people in hospital with COVID are roughly half of what saw in January 2021. The government hopes the spreading booster vaccine rollout will help top-up immunity for the most vulnerable and make it even harder for Omicron to cause seriousness, whether it triggers once or twice. Thank you.